All right, so thank you all for joining this webinar today around visual assistance. My name is Nicolas, so I am in charge of business development with FroXx Industries. We are a tech startup based out of Germany and Liechtenstein. So I am today with my colleague Adrian Gobina, who is our head of application development, and we will discuss together the importance of introducing technology in the work environment, and particularly for field operations. So as you know, video calling apps are becoming an important part of our lives now. We chat with our friends and families at work, and we learn also remotely much more than before. And these apps are created for the purpose of connecting people, making presentations, collaborating on work projects. And we can all agree that they are fulfilling now the purpose very well. But what about what we're talking about now, which is remote support? How could a video call with a customer resolve a situation? Well, more and more, I would say, yes, they can, because our solution of visual assistance really is the result of three main challenges we aim at solving for our customers and users. The first one is that we know how conventional technical visits can become very quickly costly. The second is that we understand how challenges are associated with equipment installation and maintenance. And third, we often notice that technicians coming to a location cannot immediately fix an issue detected. So visual assistance technology here helps businesses to provide their services to clients remotely. And you wouldn't have to send someone to the customer to resolve their issues as a business. Instead, you can connect with them and help them solve their issues step by step. And what we'll do over the next 20 minutes is present you our industry portfolio, the main benefits, but also our workflow management, the features and the tools. And we will also run a real-time demo, which will be provided to you by my colleague, Adrian. Now, let me present to you in a nutshell our target industries and where also our use cases are applicable. So first, in the telecom sector, the telecom companies are experiencing a huge increase in installation of equipment due to the rollout of 5G mobile networks. So here, using visual assistance can improve what we call the mean time to resolve technical issues and reduce the travel cost by providing real-time remote support for site visits. In the IT infrastructure industry, these activities require very qualified engineers inside data centers. And so by using visual assistance, the technical expertise can be shared remotely anywhere and anytime with the on-site field technicians. This increases the effective use of rare expertise, and as a result, reduces the time to deploy new equipment, and by consequence, the costs. And finally, visual assistance really contributes to more effective diagnosis and a better customer experience overall. For example, when any customer contacts a call center agent, they can provide a diagnosis to pre-qualify any issue and determine then if this particular issue can be resolved by providing directly to the customer the instructions needed, or if, and that happens, of course, a site visit by a technician is then required. So let's start from the beginning. The customer needs support and asks for assistance when, for example, his router or home equipment simply stopped working. So the customer would call the support, and the agent then tries to determine what is the issue. And the first identified challenge is the inefficiency induced by the lack of visualization of the technical operation needed. That creates a high resolution or intervention time to fix technical issues, and of course, a low resolution rate on the first contact by phone. So here, using visual assistance is a simple example of how you can simplify this process. You send a link via text message, and you don't have to download an application. So the beginning of the service is very easy and very fast. So the customer screen is mirrored on the technician's computer, and they assist the client in identifying the problem and fixing it together visually. So remote assistance is a hassle-free way of solving the issues because it works exclusively through a smartphone or a tablet or mobile device, as long as it's connected, right? It's a very simple process and makes the tasks more manageable. Of course, it allows the expert to understand a customer's issue quicker, so they can take notes, which wouldn't be normally possible through on-site work. And often some cases need urgent support. So visual assistants would help with quicker response, since the customer and the expert are only 1 or 2 clicks away. So you see, this technology uses video and several other what we call AR tools, augmented reality tools, that help to understand the problem and implement solutions quickly. What you see here on the right-hand side is how it works in picture. You have a help desk agent, which is offering a real-time support to a field team who is sharing directly what they're seeing through the mobile device. That improves what we call the user experience, because it is visual, it's interactive in real time, and as a main goal, it improves the first call resolution rate. What we believe at FroXx now is that this solution is very valuable for customers who wish to benefit from this technology in their business processes, and by doing so with immediate positive impacts. So how does it work in practice? First, the customer support specialist sends a message with an access link for a video call to the customer or field technician. This web link can be sent through SMS, WhatsApp, Telegram, email, any possible way. Then the customer starts the video call on their mobile device just with 1 click, and you will see that shortly. They don't need to download an app again. Then the specialist sees what the customer looks through the camera of their mobile device, and the customer support then guides the field technician through the relevant procedures step by step, and by providing real-time verbal instructions and visual guidance. So in one word, it is extremely simple, because it's fully cloud-based, of course, and web-based software as a service. No one requires on both ends any software installation. And I insist on that because this is one of our key differentiators. Neither support or field customer would need a preliminary installation on the devices. And that is particularly important since this solution is designed to support either technicians with installation and maintenance of equipment, but also because we target now more and more a consumer's market, right? Which may not always know how to navigate through an application subscription or registration, right? So now, before handing over to my colleague, Adrian, who will perform, as I mentioned to you, a real-time demo, I would like to share with you maybe a few of the tools and the features offered by visual assistants. So what you see here is a screen capture of what a support operator would see. The camera of the field technician or the customer. Typically here you have the example of a car engine, but as you can see here as well, it could be, for example, a telecom equipment, which needs a configuration or even a home device. That's, for example, a router, but you can even have use cases, for example, for the aviation industry. And here you have, for example, a cockpit, right? So all these options are here to facilitate the communication and the annotations needed to perform the specific tasks. You have the whole history available. You have the possibility to send attachments, screenshots, pictures, documents as well, and that on both sides. But you can also freeze momentarily the picture or zoom in to provide more details, for example. So I'm going to stop here, and I don't want to steal your show, Adrian, but perhaps I can stop now sharing my screen, and you can guide us through in real time how these features work, and explain to us as well a little bit the whole self-ticketing system. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Adrian Gurbina. Give me a second. I want to share my screen with the application itself. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the application. It's a web-based application. It's based on a ticket framework, and the architecture is the infrastructure components are WebRTC. The flow is as following. A person who provides guidance to a person who requires guidance, it's opening a ticket, and in the tab video, we have an URL which is going to be sent to the person requiring help. I already performed this via email, and I send the link to my colleague Vasile. So if he's going to open the link, we are going to establish the connection between the two entities. For the use case, we are going to have a troubleshooting of a printer to adapt it as a way of working. As you can see, we are able to communicate already via video. I am able to receive the feeding provided by Vasile. You can hear me in his application as well. And for the presentation, we are not going to use the full capabilities of the application. That means I'm not going to connect through audio with him. He will be able to hear me through the actual presentation through Zoom. So before starting to troubleshoot the printer, I'm going to present a little bit the graphical icons which are presented on the screen. Let me mute myself for a little bit. So as you can see, he's going to be able to see different graphical interfaces. So I'm going to kindly ask him to start LCD display, which I'm pointing. And another capability of the application is the ability to zoom in case I require any help. So as you can see, I'm able to perform this action. On the screen. I'm able to draw different objects as a presentation purposes or a guidance purposes. So let's get back to the use case scenario. So at the moment, Vasile has a problem with the printer. He's not able to identify he's not able to print. So we are going to troubleshoot a little bit the cartridges and see what's the status of them. So I'm going to kindly ask him to open the top lid. On the right side of the printer is going to be a panel which he has to, a button which he has to press to open the front lid. And we have access to the cartridges location. I'm going to zoom a little bit to see where the cartridges are. As we can see them, they're presented in the. So if you zoom a little bit, and please also press on the black cartridge in the middle to release him from the socket. I would like to press again and place it into the socket. And we have to check the LCD panel to see if the cartridges have been detected.
It says door might be closed, so I need to close the door.
Yes, probably I have to close the door too. Now the printer is being initiated. It's going to check all the cartridges position.
Seems to be ready.
And I think he can try to print a page for a test. As a presentation, till he's printing the page test, I'm going to provide you a little bit of a feature which is available in Virtual Assistants. I'm able to freeze the camera. I'm able to perform different kind of annotation, graphical ones on the page, and I'm able to save it. The outcome of this save is going to be stored in attachment, and the particular attachment can be sent over the chat. In the chat section, we are able to provide text. As well, we are able to share different files. I'm going to use the reference side picture. I managed to send the document to him. He's going to open it and he will be able to visualize it on his display. I'm going to release the freezing. And as you can see, the page, it's okay.
Already printed.
Thank you very much. In case you have some questions related to the application, we are available to answer them. Prior to Q&A, I would like to provide a little bit of details related to ability of the application to be integrated with different ticketing system framework. Our middleware is capable of integrating through the APIs with particular or generic ticketing system framework. The only interface which is required is defining the use case scenario in which the interoperability between the ticketing system should flow. Another capabilities is after we open the ticket, we can define or we can associate the client, and the link which is going to be required for the person to connect to the engineer is going to be sent using different kind of services: SMS, email, WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram. To achieve this, you have to integrate it with the email server or with the messaging broadcast solution. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Adrian, and thank you also, Vasile, for this. I will perhaps share my screen again because I have a few other points I would like to share with you. First of all, we received a question around the use cases, right, on the chat. So I would like, because I have prepared that, to show you a little bit what are the different applicability, right, of the solution in which industries. So let's take, for example, the case of car insurance and car repair shops. You have an agent from a car insurance company who makes, for example, an initial estimate of the damage on a car which is insured. They would take all necessary photos and typically fill in the paperwork for the car repair. So the technician would check the paperwork and review all the damages and maybe find some other broken parts which were not listed in the initial paperwork. So by using here visual assistance, you have the example of an agent who can show additional damaged parts so that once the video call ends, he can update all this paperwork with the new fit photos and parts to be replaced or repaired, right? And send all of that to the car repair shop. Or another example again is for roadside assistance cases, where an agent could guide a customer around the car, pause the video when necessary, record everything if necessary, and take pictures relevant to the insurance policy. Now, we have also, of course, other use cases, more towards the consumers market. The second one is when, for example, in the utilities or energy market and sectors, you have a customer who encounters an issue with their electric panel. Or the smart meter or the installation, right? If this affects the energy or water supply, visual assistance could allow the customer to express and show the nature of the issue to the support team. So by qualifying the nature of this issue, the supplier's support teams can determine the urgency of the issue and deploy the technicians with a pre-evaluation of the existing problem. That's particularly helpful. If this issue, of course, can be fixed remotely, the end users would enjoy a better customer experience with an immediate resolution of the problem, while the supplier, on the other hand, would efficiently allocate their resources. And finally, another use case, because you had the question around this point, for home appliances. First level support can be applied here to a huge variety of categories like TVs, smart TVs, any sort of smart device or IoT, washing machines, anything from the kitchen to the bathroom. Visual assistance can facilitate also a complex integration of smart home appliances into a smart house network, right? The support can provide, for example, the user detailed information about operational instructions for installation, for example. And if the issue, of course, cannot be resolved remotely, and that happens, then the engineer would request a home visit for the home appliance to be collected for replacement, for example. So in a nutshell, visual assistant really offers troubleshooting capability for any abnormal behavior of equipment by evaluating and identifying immediately which issues are faced by a customer with their current installation. So before concluding, the key takeaways are an immediate implementation, because this solution is a SaaS, fully cloud-based software, which can be implemented within 48 hours. You just need half a day of training for the support team, and then you can use this solution very easily. Of course, and we repeated that a few times, but there's no app download. It's fully web-based, as you could see also from the screen of Adrian earlier on. So the customer or field technician would not need any preliminary app download, just to click on a web link from your device, and then you can have the connection. And it generates cost effectiveness, because when you reduce your field service expenditures, you can shorten, of course, the resolution and intervention time, which saves you costs. And finally, we offer also branded content, since we can apply your customers' branding to a solution screen lock and messages. So overall, and this will be maybe our conclusive words for today, our main ambition is clearly to reduce field operation costs, because visual assistance has this potential to adapt to any use case which is related to an enhanced customer support and satisfaction. So what we discussed today was that visual assistance is a technology which enables us to work faster and better. We also showed you that it leads to a reduction in time for solving errors and improvement in call resolution rates. So whether you're looking to reduce costs or increase efficiency or improve your customer satisfaction, we really hope that we have demonstrated that FroXx Visual Assistance is the perfect solution for your business in a permanent remote environment. So maybe we have a few questions. If so, we can, maybe we have 5 more minutes to answer them. One thing that I have not mentioned to you is that, of course, if you would like to have a trial version of this solution directly implemented into your system or environment, this is something that we offer. We can have from 2 to 7 days of trial of the solution with, of course, half a day of training, free of charge. And maybe, because I think we received a question also around how different from our competitors this solution is. And that's a very good question, because as mentioned in introduction, we have a lot of apps and tools today, such as Zoom that we are using today, or WhatsApp that could be used for certain tasks related to remote support. The main differentiation, I would say, is that, first of all, we offer a self-ticketing system. We offer augmented reality annotation capabilities. Of course, because we are a European company, we are a fully GDPR compliant solution. We also have service level agreements adapted to your environment and requirements, and of course, flexible package and cancellation policies. But the main difference apart from that is that there are record interactions. You know, the interactions can be all recorded and accessed through the company's area. These recordings can be then used for eventual audits or for training purposes. Of course, the AR capability means drawing and markup tools, because technician can stop videos. So it's easier for the consumer or the end user to understand the instructions which are given by the attendant. The photo and video capture tools mean that you can take photos, record, so that everything which is shown can be applied and also recorded in the service. All the remote zoom buttons as well manage to highlight important elements of the customer's entire reality. And of course, the platform organizes records into management reports, and this information can be used to evaluate the performance of the support team. So I think we can end now. I want to thank you very much for being with us today. We will write down our email addresses, so please feel free to reach out. And very happy to have organized this very first FroXx webinar. Thank you all.